Here's Rineman in the Morning, on demand from 102.1 and 105.3, The Shark.
It's so nice to be back after a week off. Had a wonderful time. I went up to see On Your Feet at the Ogunquit Playhouse. Such a great show. Get there if you can. I believe they're there through August 19th. I saw Herb Alpert and Lonnie Hall at the Music Hall in Portsmouth. They were outstanding. As always, we went down to the beach in Northampton. Sadie made some new friends there. We had a great time. But speaking of which, there was a whole to-do at Hampton Beach the weekend before. There's a whole lot of local news we got to catch up on. Let's get to it.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
Officials are still investigating last weekend's incident at Hampton Beach where a plane crashed into the water. Their findings? That it's still safer than Logan. In the meantime, there was almost a monsoon yesterday when that cop from Boston City Hall went down a slide at Water Country. A Christmas tree shop on Cape Cod is now a Spirit Halloween store, which explains its slogan, "Don't you just love a goblin?"
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
And your Boston Red Sox gave up 13 runs yesterday, so they'll be turning Fenway into a Spirit Halloween any moment as well. But meantime, the women's soccer team, the U.S. women's soccer team, they're out of it. They got eliminated by Sweden, I think. Did you see what happened on that penalty kick? Megan Rapinoe just totally missed it? I don't know. It's awful. Here, let's get an update.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
I'd make a joke about that soccer game, but it would just go over your head.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Megan is off, but I got you covered if you go to the Shark app right now. There's a really funny picture from a town here in New England. Was it your town? You'd have to go to the Shark app and find out. There's construction going on, and the sign says, "Road closed to through traffic, open to Dunkin'." That's an actual road sign here in a New England town. Go check it out on the Shark app. But I saw that, I thought, that's got to be the most New England road sign I've ever seen. And it got me thinking, what are some other road signs you might see here in New England? So here's 8 great traffic signs you may also see here only in New England. Construction ahead. It's wicked bumpy, dude. HOV lane is for 2 or more Wahlberg brothers. Yield for cyclists before they're on your windshield. That's a good idea. Brake for cops barreling down a slide meant for children. Hey, I know who that is. Keep your hand on the wheel and a finger out the window. Ooh, you must be 16 years old to drive, 19 to date Robert Kraft. Hey, come on, man. Now arriving at the Christmas Tree Shop Spirit Halloween store. We know that place. Yeah, that just opened up. And finally, nearest Starbucks, New York City. There it is. Go check it out on the Shark app. Funny Dunkin' road signs. Classic hits for the Seacoast. 102.1, 105.3 The Shark. We'll be right back with more Rineman in the Morning.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
The Haunted Mansion fell to 5th place at the box office. You can tell things are bad because the theater was full of more cobwebs than the mansion. Yes, Disney lost money on the Haunted Mansion, which explains why today they turned it into a Spirit Halloween store. That's right, a haunted mansion nobody wants to visit, or as that's also known, Mar-a-Lago.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
I'm happy to have an old friend on the line.
Yo, yo.
What's up, Patrick in Newmarket? How you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Today is a National Sea Serpent Day. I was just talking about this article on the Shark app. There's this town here in New England. They've seen all these sea serpents. What's the strangest thing you've ever seen in the water, like when you've gone to the beach?
The tiny, tiny jellyfish.
A tiny, tiny jellyfish, like a baby jellyfish?
Yeah.
But what made it so unusual?
The fact that it was like that far in.
You think it got lost, like a Finding Nemo situation, maybe?
It scared the heck out of me.
It would scare me, too, because you know what they say, that if you get stung by a jellyfish, you know what you're supposedly supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I had just heard that,
Patrick, I hope you have a safe rest of the day, and if you see any jellyfish, may you also see a peanut butter fish. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you on that.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
That soccer game's the worst I've been embarrassed by Sweden since I built a desk from IKEA.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
As you know, writers and actors for film and TV are still on strike, but it sounds like they're going to have company pretty soon. For real, check this out.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
Reality TV stars are threatening to go on strike. You know things are bad when even people who don't have jobs are threatening to quit their jobs. Yes, Real Housewife Bethany Frankel is suing Bravo over its exploitation of reality stars. Said Bravo, hey, this would make a great reality show. That's right, the Real Housewives want Bravo to come to the negotiating table, which will then be flipped over.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
Now, the Cleveland Guardians, that's their new name. Who's their football team? The Parents? Is that who they are? They were playing a game the other night, and one of the Chicago White Sox goes to just pick a fight, and you're going to see this today. It's gone viral everywhere. Just boom! One of the guys just gets dropped. It was crazy. I didn't have a whole lot of time to watch sports this weekend. Here, let's get an update.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
On Saturday, we had WWE, AEW, and UFC, but the best fight was in a baseball game.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Now, Megan's off today, but I'm joined by a very nice gentleman, Sean Olston.
Hey,
you
how
head
are
up
you?
sales here at the Shark, Sean.
Yeah.
And he's a nice gentleman you get if you want to run an ad.
Thanks.
Great place to advertise, right,
Thanks,
Sean?
buddy. Yeah, I love the Shark.
So I got to ask you this. This is on the Shark app. I was just
Yes.
talking about this a minute. It's a real article. There's a fair in Maine where they have, get this, a blindfolded golf cart race and a ladies' skillet throwing contest.
Wow.
I bring this to you because, Sean, if there has ever been a fair meant for Mr. and Mrs. Olston,
Yeah, right.
this is for you and the missus.
Yeah, I don't know which I'd be more afraid of letting the wife do. The blinded golf cart race or the skillet thing.
Yeah. Because
I'm dead in both scenarios.
Well,
so.
you're dressed right now to play golf. You're a big golfer. You're a golf guy. How do you think you would fare in a blindfolded golf cart race?
I think the question is, on the course, you have a couple libations. You have an apple juice or two, right? And is this
sure.
like 5 holes in, 9 holes in? Like what do we? What do
you
we
even need the blindfold at that
You
point?
really don't. I mean, it's literally a regular match with Olston.
And how do you think the wife would do with the skillet?
She's pretty good at throwing that at with or without a blindfold.
Yeah. Now be honest with me. We're on the radio, so Sean, you just nod. When I talk about a blindfolded golf cart race and then a skillet throwing contest, am I just describing a Sunday at the Olstons?
That's like a Thursday through Sunday.
Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, very good. If you want to go to the fair with the Olstons, check it out on the Shark app.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
Twitter CEO Elon Musk agreed to fight Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. The way it works is they get in the cage, someone locks it from outside, then we leave them both in there forever. 2 motorists in a road rage incident attacked each other with white spray paint. It's already inspired a true mime podcast. Yes, 2 motorists in a road rage fight sprayed each other with white paint. That's the whitest fight I've heard of since Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
I went to someone's apartment recently, right? And they had a cat there that I'd never seen before. And I say, is that a new cat? And they go, yeah, he's adopted. To which I said, oh, you mean you didn't have that cat yourself? Yeah, guess what, idiot? They're all adopted, all right? All the cats are adopted. That's how it always works with cats and people. I wanted to be a real jerk and be like, oh, was it an open or closed adoption? Is the mom cat still in the picture? She come by on the weekends, visit him on the holidays? Is she defensive about it? Is she like, look, I had a lot going on back then, all right? I was messed up on nip, I was hopped up on doorbells, I was in no condition to be a mother. But now I'm 3 years sober, I'm taking some classes from DeVry, I got 8 more lives, I'm gonna make every single one of them count.
A spry young comedian named me. That's from The Tonight Show in 2015. Hi, Jimmy. I play that because today is International Cat Day. So please send all your hate mail and messages to the Shark app and give me a call, or we can commiserate. It goes either way when you have a cat. I just want to say, though, that joke, I'm just playing around. It's just on the word adoption. I bring that up. I think of it every year because that set happened on International Cat Day Eve. And so the next day, someone shared that clip with the hashtag, and the cat people were not amused at all. They all took the day off from going to Michael's to buy craft supplies to get mad at me. hey, look, you know something? If you're someone who's coming at me to defend your cat, they may not do the same for you, okay? I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. I go outside the other day. I see a little girl putting up a sign that says lost cat. The minute she leaves, her cat comes and takes it down.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
The best pitcher to never win a Cy Young award? Probably Cy Young.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
All right, Megan is out today, but I'm joined by Rachel from our sales department here at the Shark, our wonderful sales department. How's it going, Rachel?
I cannot complain, John. How have you been?
Well, it depends on your view. Do you like winter or do you not like winter?
Probably just depends on my mood. If I've got like a cozy outfit readily available, then I love the winter.
Okay.
And if I just have my like regular options for clothing, really it's all just based on have I done my laundry?
Just dress cozy all the time. Why
Well,
not?
that's what I try to do, but it goes back to the laundry rotation, you know.
Oh, the rotation.
The rotation.
Well, I bring this up because if you go to the Shark app, there's an article about the Farmer's Almanac. You ever read the Almanac?
Ooh,
Their winter prediction is out.
What did they say?
Well, you got to go to the Shark app. But I'll tell you this, it's a bold one. It's crazy. It's like historic.
Oh.
But I'm not going to tell you which way we're going.
I was going to ask for some hints, like, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? As someone who really fluctuates on where they're at feeling about winter.
Yeah, I would say check it out on the Shark app. Depending on where you land, maybe get that cozy outfit ready.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
You know what? You get in the mood, start like coming in here, like get some bean shorts. You know, like if you go to LL Bean, you get like some flannel shorts, maybe a flannel. Why don't people have flannel tank tops, Rachel?
I think that kind of defeats the purpose, John.
Yes, but there are sweater vests as well.
Okay.
What?
All right.
Are you just telling you? Are you being passive aggressive to your arms at that point? Did they do something wrong?
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
A new study found that Americans 65 and older are not scared of AI taking jobs. When asked how they got over that fear, they said, by retiring. NBC and JetBlue are teaming up on a special sweepstakes. The grand prize? A JetBlue seat with a TV that works. Ahead of his fight with Mark Zuckerberg, Twitter CEO Elon Musk suggested that the money go to charity. When asked what charity, he said, Twitter.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
Megan is out. Rachel from sales is in. And Rachel, we don't always have to work closely side by side, correct?
You know, yeah, I've been kind of wondering why you keep scooting over to my desk now that you mention that.
Well, no, I won't be able to now. See, I saved this for a day Megan wasn't here because this is an awkward topic. This is on the Shark app. This is 3 swimming holes in Maine that are clothing optional.
What?
First of all, if you're going to a clothing optional place, I don't know that I'd use the phrase swimming hole. That's just me. But have you ever, I'm going to ask the personal question, have you ever been to one of these places, Rachel? Not necessarily in Maine, but just in general.
I haven't, but I think that when I was, I don't remember where I was, but I know that I've been to beaches where whether or not they were clothing optional, there were topless women, women
Right.
not wearing tops.
Yeah. Not that kind of person. I don't think I would go to one of these spots. But if you're into it, you can go to the Shark app. It's 3 swimming locations in Maine, clothing optional. I'll sum it up to you why. In addition to being a modest person, but for my own eye safety, you know how you talk about there were women there that were going, sans top? Yeah, the kind of people that go there, they might be men. So anyway, check it out on the Shark app.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
Breaking news, Megan Rapinoe's penalty kick just landed.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Megan is out. I'm joined by Rachel from sales. How's it going, Rachel?
I can't complain. How about yourself, John?
Well, I can't complain because you're a fill-in and you're doing better than me. But other than that, here's the last one we're going to talk about today. These are the best named cannabis dispensaries in Massachusetts.
Oh my gosh, I bet there's some really good ones.
Yeah, give me what would yours be right now? Make one up right on the spot. Can you do it?
I can try. Stoners.
Stonas. How about
Actually,
that?
yeah, let's go with that.
Stonas. Wicked Stonas. Okay, 25 of the best names for cannabis shops. What do you think of this? The Kush Groove Shop. I don't know. It's just okay.
It's okay.
Bud's Goods or Good Buds?
Which one is it?
It is Bud's Goods. Okay. Oh, I like this one. Salty farmers, I guess.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I don't get a lot of these. I'm not a smoker, so I guess that's why I wouldn't get these. Oh, see, this is the one right here that I like. There's a place called Seed. That's not bad for a cannabis shop.
It's not bad. As a gardener, I might go in there thinking,
that's true.
Oh, I was looking for slightly different crops, but while I'm here,
we're gonna get phone calls now from people going, like I'm a gardener too. But don't worry, they won't call till 11:30.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
UPS drivers will receive a $170,000 pay package, marking the first package they won't just throw over your fence. Yes, UPS drivers will get a massive pay raise. When asked what they plan to buy with it, drivers said, long pants. Yes, UPS drivers got an enormous raise, which explains their new slogan, what can green do for me?
And that's your news on the nines. Now on Rineman in the Morning, it's What's Up on the Shark app with Megan, the Shark's own app and website guru.
Well, look who's back. It's Megan.
Guess who's back again? It's like the Bruno Mars song. Is it Bruno Mars?
It sounds like a weird
24K Magic.
Oh yeah, maybe. I thought you were doing like a dorky version of Eminem there for a second. Guess who's back again?
Two trailer park girls go around the outside.
Around the outside. What's happening on the Shark app?
I hate to automatically come right back here and be the bearer of bad news, but Farmer's Almanac has released... I do, though.
Yeah.
I'm empathetic. I have empathy in my soul.
Okay.
Farmer's Almanac has released their predictions for this winter.
Yeah,
and
I know.
As one might expect.
I wrote about it. And because I love these predictions... Well, twofold. In this story on the Shark app, you can go in and see their prediction and also maybe a little bit about how we got to trust the Farmer's Almanac. It was a prank gone right, someone might say.
Way back when, if I'm not mistaken.
Megan, without any spoilers, though, but I'll ask you, and be honest, are you happy about this forecast? No.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to keep barking
bold.
the word no.
It's pretty bold. So if people are split, go check it out on the Shark app.
Are you happy about it?
I don't know if I necessarily believe it.
Let's say it's true. How do you feel?
No offense to any old farmers or young farmers, but yeah, not buying your almanac predictions. I don't know. I mean, last year we had nothing. So, it's anything could be crazier than last year. You know what I'm saying? But go check it out. It's on the Shark app. And the Farmer's Almanac, will they strike again? You're trying to hold in a yawn so bad.
I really am.
You really are.
And now, here's sports in 10 seconds with the Sportsman.
A sheep ran on the field at a football game in Canada. Can we get the goat back on the field at Gillette?
That's your sports in 10 seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Megan, what else is going on?
I never thought I'd live to see the day, but Walmart is closing 22 of its stores this year.
Why didn't you think you'd live? Are you sick?
It's one of those changes that you kind of assume is invincible just due to its size and all the advertising and all that stuff. But what we really wanted to know is, are any stores going to be closing in New England or in New Hampshire more specifically?
Oh.
So one of our colleagues decided to look into it and find out.
You know what's interesting is there's two Walmarts right by here and they're very close together. And I'm curious now. I'm going to go check this out on the Shark app because I've always wondered, how do these two stores coexist? They're both very large Walmarts, but they compete with each other. So I wonder if they're going to truncate or put them together. Do you think they'll combine the two Walmart buildings?
They could. I don't think it would make a huge difference because it's everyone lives in pretty close vicinity to both of these places.
Well, can you imagine that you're driving down 95 and you see a trailer just lugging a Walmart behind it?
Honestly, I'd probably
I'm running a little bit late, but at least I can pass. Oh my God. What is that ahead of me? It's on the Shark app. Walmart's closing down or truncating. We'll find out. If you go to the Shark app, there's a story on there about a kitten here in New Hampshire that scares the ever-living honey out of a giant bear. It's a really fun video. This bear, it's coming over to take over a house, and this cat just scares what they do in the woods out of it. But you know something? That's not even the strangest bear story in the news this week. Listen to this.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
A flight was delayed in Dubai when a bear escaped from its crate, which got worse when it banged on the lavatory and said, "Hurry up, there's no woods up here." That's right, a bear got loose on an airplane. Passengers knew the bear was trouble when it ordered 5 beers before takeoff. Yes, a woolly bear got loose on a plane, but the only passenger who remembers seeing it was William Shatner.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
Megan, what else is up on the Shark app?
We have 3 New Hampshire towns getting a special shout out from the travel website Far and Wide. They recently published a list of the best U.S. towns with fewer than 10,000 residents. And there are probably a lot of towns like that in New Hampshire. That was my first thought.
Like, what? How many have more than 10,000 in New Hampshire? Do we know?
I have shared the most populated towns in New Hampshire.
Concord,
so
Manchester, that's got to be 2,
Nashua,
right?
For sure.
Salem's probably in the mix. Does Salem count as a city or a town?
Yeah. Salem's a...
Do you count all the creatures?
Okay.
Do you count all the characters at Canterbury Lake Park? Do they count? Are they home for the census?
Now we're going down a rabbit hole of what constitutes a town versus a city.
Oh, I love the rabbit hole. That's my favorite ride at Canterbury Lake Park.
maybe it'll replace the Rudolph roller coaster at Santa's Village.
This is on the Shark app, and 3 New Hampshire towns have been named to a list of the nicest towns with less than 10,000 people. Do you prefer to live in a town that is sparsely populated, or do you like to get lost in a city?
I am sort of in the middle. I don't like rural living, but I also don't like city living. I tell people that I like the suburban kind of lifestyle where I can access the city easily, but I can also access, green gardens, pretty things.
Everyone's in your business, though, if you live in a suburb. Everyone knows what you're up to. I prefer either a city, because there's so much going on, that's, in a weird way, privacy, or to be out completely by myself, because either way, no one will know I'm Batman. It's Classic Hits for the Seacoast, 102.1, 105.3 The Shark. We'll be right back with more Rineman in the morning. But first, your New England Patriots are back in action. They're taking the field this week. We get to see how they look after all those scrimmages and 2-a-days. Here, let's get an update.
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
I'm also doing 2-a-days, if you count ice cream nachos from the Beach Plum.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
It's time for your Shark Seacoast forecast, brought to you by P. Gagnon and Son. Good morning, Mark Rosenthal.
Good morning, Mr. Rineman.
I have a question for you, Mark. We're kind of in the dog days of summer, and today is National Spoil Your Dog Day. So I'm going to get your opinion on something. Do you think it's okay for dogs to be like sleeping up on couches and beds and stuff? Or are you old school? Do you throw it back and say, hey, man, I got you a dog bed. That's for dogs. Where do you stand on that?
No, I think it's great to have your dog sleep with you. I think it's great. I have a really hard time that people actually put their dogs in cages for the night. I mean, they like that. So I get feedback. Oh, the dog loves the cage. I hate that. Yeah. I think it's great to have your dog sleep with you. It's fun. It's nice. They're part of the family.
Okay, fair enough. Dogs are part of the family. And Mark, you're part of the family on Rineman in the morning.
You're a nice man. Can I borrow the car, Dad?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
Statues of Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were unveiled in their hometown. Fans said that they are almost lifelike. And the statues are nice, too. Comedian Bill Maher gave the Barbie movie an extremely bad review. That's crazy. Bill Maher's still considered a comedian? In Seattle, traffic was stopped when a massive herd of sheep crossed the road. It's unclear just how many sheep there were, as everyone watching them fell asleep.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the morning.
Megan, what's going on?
There is a hidden park here in New England with gorgeous waterfalls and covered bridges.
Don't go chasing those. That's what TLC told me.
What if I want to go chasing waterfalls? Or should I stick to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to here in New England?
There you go. This is on the Shark app. There's a hidden park, and it's got waterfalls.
Yes, and covered bridges, and it seems like a very scenic kind of place. It's in a quiet town in Massachusetts where portions of the town are actually...
Oh, it's in Massachusetts?
Yeah, okay. Portions of the town are actually listed on the National Register for Historic Places, plus it's free, which is my favorite word.
Is this like within driving distance? Is this like a nearby place? Can you give me a hint?
I mean, it's in Massachusetts, so
you know what's interesting?
It's our neighbors to the south.
So on the Shark app, there's a secret park. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Or dangerous, because we do live in the world where it was a secret park.
We are approaching spooky season.
I got to ask my daughter about this because, she lives down in Massachusetts, and she came across a hidden playground recently, a secret playground with her cousins.
This playground in good condition? Or is this like really run down and nasty?
But it sounds like, no, it's in good condition, and it sounds like this. This is like a new thing now, hidden parks. Is that how they keep them safe?
Well, hidden places are fun.
Yeah. So it's a secret park, so the bears don't know about it. It's on the Shark app. It's a hidden park with waterfalls and covered bridges. All right, check it out.
And now, here's sports in 10 seconds with the Sportsman.
Are the Red Sox wearing yellow shirts because the dry cleaner lost their clothes?
That's your sports in 10 seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
I wrote something for the Shark app, and Megan has questions.
I feel like this is something that we joke about, but it's actually becoming a reality. So, Christmas tree shop, or a location of Christmas tree shops in Massachusetts, is now going to be a Halloween store.
That's right.
Is this like a spirit Halloween? What
sort
are
of. You got to go to the Shark app. You got to go to the Shark app and find out. And it's one of the iconic Christmas tree shops.
Is it the OG?
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying if you look at the picture, you're going to go, oh my gosh, this is going to be an amazing, we're going to miss this Christmas tree shop, but this is going to be a heck of a Halloween store.
Is it going to be a year-round Halloween store?
That's my suggestion. They haven't really made it clear. I think it should be. I think Massachusetts would be perfect for that.
Honestly, no, here's the thing. I'm a big fan of, part of what makes holidays so special is that they're only on a certain time of year. So I tend to only celebrate and take out the decorations at a certain time of year.
Yeah.
But having said that, I feel like a year-round Halloween store would make bank.
I agree.
Especially around here. Are you kidding me?
I think kids especially. I have a 6.5-year-old. She'd be there all the time. If you had discounted Halloween, if they did a Christmas tree shops with Halloween, that's how you make your money. That's a year-round holiday. Check it out on the Shark app. It's going to look really cool. And as News Guy said earlier this week, don't you just love a goblin?
You're a good singer.
Thank you. It's classic hits for the Seacoast. 102.1, 105.3 The Shark. We'll be right back with more Rineman in the Morning.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
Ron DeSantis will debate Gavin Newsom in a showdown between candidates who have been labeled second choices. The event will be sponsored by Burger King and Pepsi. Today is National Lazy Day. You know what? You write the joke. An astronomer claims that gravity is breaking down. His proof? That penalty kick in that women's soccer match.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
It's National Spoil Your Dog Day. I asked you, are you okay with your dog sleeping up in your bed? I heard from Allison in Lowell. She said she's totally fine with it because, and she says this is Allison in Lowell, children are way dirtier than animals. Dogs don't get sticky, and you can force them to be quiet. I believe someone gets a call if you forcibly quiet a child. Oh, the claws are out all of a sudden. Oh, my gosh. We have the dog moms and the yoga pants. They're about to go at it. Patrick in Newmarket, do you agree with me? Should we not be letting our dogs sleep in our beds?
I got to disagree with you, buddy.
Okay, make your case.
If it's a cold night and you got that big fluffy dog, if it's a small dog, that you might as well classify that as a cat.
I love what you just did. You just did a double turn right there, Patrick. You got all the dog people on your side. They said, yeah. He said, but if you have a small dog, that's nothing. That's just a cat. And they all went, hey.
But if it's a hairless dog, it's not going to keep you warm.
Do you think they feel the same way about hairless people?
Oh, that's a different story.
Let's not offend everybody today.
Don't get me canceled.
And now, here's Sports in 10 seconds with the Sportsman.
One of the Phillies pitched a no-no. That other team had fewer hits than the Peacock Network.
That's your Sports in 10 seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Now, I wrote something else for the Shark app, and Megan has more questions, I'm told.
I know that we, unfortunately, recently lost Paul Rubin, a.k.a.
Paul Rubens. Paul Rubens.
A.k.a.
We didn't lose him. He died. We know where he is. He would appreciate
I'm being
that.
figurative.
He would like that.
I'm being
Paul
figurative.
would like that. I knew Paul a little bit. He'd like that.
Okay, well, I'm actually really glad you know him because...
Knew him. He's dead.
I'm aware of that,
okay.
Sean. But I want to know more about him because I know nothing, or I knew nothing.
Well, the story on the Shark app, if you go check it out, is that he went to college here in New England.
He went to college? No way.
Yeah, and not only that, no, but here in New England, he went to college, and I didn't know that. And then he came back at a different college and got a really big honor. And if you go to the Shark app, you can see the video of him coming back in the mid-'80s. Right after Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and it's just everyone's going nuts for Pee-wee.
He went on a big adventure?
Megan, that's the name of his movie.
I don't know anything about this person.
Oh, my gosh.
That's why I'm asking you to tell me more.
You don't know about Pee-wee Herman?
No!
Megan, we're going to have to do another one of those things where I teach you who everyone is.
I know.
How do you not know Pee-wee Herman?
I've heard of him.
You don't know Pee-wee?
No.
Oh my gosh!
Don't take it personal. I as mentioned, let me
explain it.
Hollywood and all that. I don't know as much about it as I should. Even today, at present.
Let me explain it in Gen Z terms. He was a guy who made half-hour long TikToks that were very silly, and it was on a thing called television. Go check it out.
What's television?
It's classic hits for the Seacoast. How can I explain everything? Classic Hits for the Seacoast, 102.1, 105.3 The Shark. We'll be right back with more Rineman in the morning. I asked you, do you let your dog sleep in your bed? Gary in Plymouth.
I'm actually okay with that. My family has a couple dogs. My mom has a Border Collie mix, and he's usually okay with sleeping on our couch as long as he doesn't do any business. And then
see, that's the thing I worry about. Isn't that something to worry about, though? The business?
He hasn't done it yet.
I guess, is that him right there?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, we better get going before he knows we're talking about him. This never happened, Gary.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
In New Jersey, a family is opening a 10-acre Barbie-themed corn maze. You know, because getting lost in a corn maze wasn't already embarrassing enough. Yes, there's a Barbie corn maze in New Jersey. And since it's Barbie, all the mobsters will be buried in pink tracksuits. That's right, there's a 10-acre corn maze with a Barbie theme. And if they want to make popcorn, they'll change it to an Oppenheimer theme.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the morning.
Megan, what's going on this fine Friday?
Well, Travel Pulse says that there is a place in New Hampshire that has the best chicken wings in the entire state. And I'm curious as to the people's take on whether or not they think this is true.
So this is on the Shark app.
Yeah.
And it's the best chicken wings in all of New Hampshire. But yeah, you're going to get some...
Yes.
It's going to be controversial.
It's in the Conway area, actually.
Controversy.
Controversy. That's a good word.
Someone I used to know used to call it. Okay, so it's on the Shark app. Go look up the best chicken wings in New Hampshire. Boy, that's a tough one. I wouldn't want to go after that. Well, give me your pick. What's your favorite chicken wings?
They're not wings per se, but I got to say our buddies over at Dave's Hot Chicken.
Because you're afraid that Davey's going to come back and make you eat more of that. Hey,
I would
what?
do
Same
it.
here. It's my favorite. It's so good that once was enough. Yeah.
I would do it again.
No,
I would. I would.
You're insane. He's going to hear you and show up.
If he wants to give me...
Mike and Sales is going to hear you. They're going to show up, Megan.
Oh, actually.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mike and Sales...
Shark app, best chicken wings, but on to Mike and Sales.
Mike and Sales.
My mouth still hurts from Dave's Hot Chicken.
Today is his birthday.
It is.
It is. So we have to embarrass him.
We do.
Mike, we appreciate you. You're an absolute pain, but we love you anyway.
Yes, Mike, we do love you. Thanks for all your hard work. Even though, as we say all the time, you really are the real Creed from The Office.
We've had a conversation off the air with some of our colleagues about who would be which office character each person in our office is. And the one thing that we all agreed on unanimously without any debate or question is that Mike is the Creed of the Shark.
Mike is the Creed of the Shark, and you can go on the Shark app and read all about these alleged best chicken wings.
I'm 30. Well, in November I'll be 30.
Megan's back because we were talking birthdays.
Guess who's back again? I did this before.
Also not
I did this before.
No, that's not how that song goes. But anyway, your birthday is coming up.
It is.
And I was saying, Lord, give me the confidence. This is not quite a pet peeve of mine, but just something where
it is a pet peeve.
I cover my eyes and go, oh, when I see this on Instagram. Look, we all know like what the dude bro thing on Instagram is like the post-workout picture where it's like, look how ripped I am. And
Gross.
I'm like, don't you work in accounting? What is that going to help you press the keys? Whatever. The women thing I see on Instagram, it'll be their birthday and they'll get birthday Instagram messages from people, and then they share everyone. They're sharing on their own Instagram everyone else's happy birthday to them. Megan, you have a birthday coming up.
Yes.
Is that you? Do you do this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Why?
I don't even
that's
know.
Crazy.
I just saw other people doing it, and so I do it too. Isn't that how all the stories start? I will say though,
that's insane. I used to think it was crazy when like people put up like the birthday cards on their refrigerator and left them there for like 3 months. This is insane behavior you're sharing private messages on your Instagram, wishing you happy birthday.
Well, they're not private messages. They're people who post on their Instagram stories and say happy birthday. So it's public on their page, and then you take it and share it to yours because you've been tagged in it.
But it's already been shared. And then you need to restate, hey, look, everybody, again, it's my birthday. Look at all the people wishing me happy birthday.
In my defense, I love my friends. A lot of them don't do those kinds of birthday Instagram messages. I do. Like they don't write them about. They might message me privately, but they don't usually put it out there. So I do get tagged in stuff for my birthday, and I do share it. But compared to most people my age, I would say I won't have any more than 5.
Oh, that's too much. Oh my gosh. No,
5 is like a max.
Are you a birthday week person too?
It depends on the year and what I want.
Right.
If I'm feeling like splurging on something, I'll be like, oh, it's my birth week. But if I don't really care, then I won't care.
Well, then why don't we just get some liquor and those mini cupcakes?
Mini cupcakes? As in the mini version of regular cupcakes, which is already a mini version of cake? Where does it end with you people?
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
That rain last night totally ruined my hopscotch court.
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
Megan, what else is going on the Shark app?
The FW shared a list of the 100 best places to live on the East Coast.
The who?
It's a source called the FW.
Ooh, I got to read about this.
Yeah, but only a couple places in New Hampshire and Maine made the list, which is a problem.
FW, more like FU. That's what I would say.
Wowza.
Or WTF.
You're going to have HR coming down your throat.
What's HR stand for? Is that another insult? But this is on the Shark app.
Yes.
And they said that only 2 New England spots.
They shared 100 of the best places to live on the East Coast.
Oh, to live? Only 2 made
Only a couple of places in New Hampshire and Maine, which is surprising.
That's absurd.
But what I want to know from you is what places would you, like off the top of your head, best places to live in New Hampshire and or Maine? What is your take?
Well, I mean, the seacoast for New Hampshire.
Okay, but I'm talking a town, not like a...
Where I grew up, Northampton, Hampton, no place I'd rather be if I'm living in New Hampshire. For real. Like I really that's my place, man. You know me, I feel comfortable down there.
That's fair. For me it's Portsmouth. I don't live in Portsmouth, but I was born in Portsmouth, so it's in my blood.
Yeah.
It runs through my veins.
As far as Maine, I got to confess something to you. I have a weird phobia of Maine.
I do too.
You do?
Yes.
Why? What scares you about Maine?
It's too rural for me.
Yes, I feel like as someone who I feel all tough because I'm from New Hampshire, and then I cross the bridge and I'm like, ooh, I don't belong here. I can go to a gunquit, but if I go any further, I get freaked.
Oh my gosh, no, yeah. I'm the exact same way. Like the coastal towns, I went to Short Sands in York recently. I had the best time. It was so like out of a New England magazine. I don't know. It was perfect. But if you ask me to go like anywhere inland or north from my perspective, I'm like, no.
But I love that we're saying how we're scared of Maine, and there's people in Maine listening who are like, aren't you the guys that do fireworks 3 times a day? Like 365?
Where's the lie?
Yeah,
there is no lie.
You have a point.
It's time for your news on the nines with News Guy.
A physician in Ohio was recognized as the world's oldest doctor at 101 years old. You can tell he's old because his copay is a jar of applesauce. Yes, there's a 101-year-old doctor in Ohio. When he uses his stethoscope, he asks your heart to speak up. That's right, America's oldest doctor turned 101 years old. When asked why he's still a doctor, he said, because I'm too young to be president.
And that's your news on the nines. Now back to Rineman in the Morning.
I wrote something for the Shark app, and Megan, you've got questions.
You have revealed that Chevy Chase is coming to a Massachusetts theater to screen a holiday classic.
Not just any holiday classic.
It's
the
Rudolph
greatest holiday
Rudolph
classic.
the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right?
Hell no. It is the greatest, the greatest holiday movie of all time.
Drum
of course,
roll.
I'm talking about... That's actually a part of the movie. Brrr, National Lampoon's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The greatest. So I read about it on the Shark app. It's kind of insane. It's the legendary Chevy Chase. It doesn't get bigger than that. Like for comedy film stars, and he's coming. He's coming to New England, and he's playing Christmas Vacation, and then he's going to talk all about Christmas Vacation. I think I'm going to this. Like, I have to be a part of it.
You have to go.
I have to.
You have to take a picture with him.
It's my favorite movie. And I will go one further. It's not just the best holiday Christmas movie of all time. It's the best comedy of all time.
Wow.
Throwing it down. It has the best lines, the most quotable lines. It has the greatest story, and every single character matters and is perfect.
New Hampshire's own Adam Sandler is going to break down the door of the studio and give you bone to pick with that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love Adam, but he's never done a movie like Christmas Vacation.
Fair. No, I agree with you.
You say a different movie is the best Christmas movie.
I like Elf. I do.
You know, Elf is Gen Z Christmas Vacation. At family gatherings, they run back to back, and there's turnover in the room when one movie starts and the other, because millennials see Elf and we go, oh, we love Will, but this movie's too soft. And then Gen Z sees Christmas Vacation and they go, oh, we love Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Johnny Galecki, but this movie's too harsh. And so, okay, we each have our thing.
I love both. I will say my other all-time favorite Christmas movie would be Home Alone.
Did you ever hear the theory that the kid from Home Alone went on to become the evil doll in the Saw movies?
No.
Yeah, the one that rides the tricycle. It's an interesting theory, so have that in the back of your mind, you filthy animals.
You serious, Clark?
And now, here's Sports in 10 Seconds with the Sportsman.
In Patriots news, hey, how about those Celtics?
That's your Sports in 10 Seconds with Sportsman on Rineman in the Morning.
I asked you, is it okay to celebrate a birthday week instead of just like a regular one-day birthday? Johnny C. in Exeter, when's your birthday?
12/30, and I tell everyone else, what year's your birthday? I tell them every year.
That's the right answer. Okay, now, are you someone who celebrates your birthday on your birthday, or are you like, man, let's do a birthday week?
I'm right near Christmas, so my sister's the 23rd, so yeah, we just do a nice meal, get together. And
what's the best birthday present you ever got?
No, you can't say it on the air.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Johnny C. in Exeter. Let's go to the movies.
I'm Charlie Butters, and it's time for your Friday Flix. In theaters is The Meg 2, about giant sharks that went extinct millions of years ago, and can be found today on the menu at Long John Silver's. Out on Netflix is Heart of Stone. Gal Gadot plays an intelligence operative trying to solve the mystery of Netflix showing movies without paying anyone who made them. A limited release is the movie Jules, about someone who befriends an alien that crashes in his yard and tries to hide him from the government. It's described as E.T. meets E.T. I'm Charlie Butters. And remember to keep an eye on the screen and a hand in the popcorn.
Everything's cool, dude.